Hello students, today I am taking lesson number 5, Just Shoot. Now this lesson, the author of this lesson is Peter Allison. Peter Allison is an Australian who was born in Sydney. He has written this adventure. Now this adventure that he has written is an experience that he himself had as a safari guide. Peter Allison worked as a safari guide in Africa and in South America. He writes all his experiences, he put down all his experiences in a book called Whatever You Do, Don't Run. And this book became the bestseller in 2008. All his book contains is his experiences as a guide while he took people on a safari. Now today's lesson is about one of these adventures that Peter Allison went on, and the experience he had in the jungle, which is really scary. Now here the story starts with a person called Spirubagu. Spirubagu is requesting Peter Allison. He wants to take a photo of a lion killing an animal, and he wants to take a live telecast or a live photo shoot of a lion killing an animal. And he's requesting Peter Allison, take me on the safari and show me how I want to click pictures of how a lion is killing animals or hunting down animals. As they travel around in their vehicle, the Land Rover, it's been a long time they are traveling, and then Spirubagu is really upset that he is not able to see any animals around. He gets frustrated. At last, what happens is, when they are on the last part of their drive, suddenly Peter Allison happens to see fresh lion tracks. Lion tracks are footprints of the lion. As soon as Peter Allison sees the lion tracks, he jumps out of the vehicle, asks them to stop the vehicle, and then tells them, here, can you see? He shows them there are lion tracks. When you say there are lion tracks, that means somewhere close by there is a lion. He walks ahead, he moves a little further, and then he turns back to the people in the safari and says, it is not one lion, it is a female lion. That means it is a lioness, and there are 2 big lionesses, he says. And later on he remembers that he is in a place where a lioness called Martina and her sister lives. So this Martina and sister they are lionesses. The name of the lioness is Martina. So Martina and her sister lives there, and many a time Peter Allison has seen this Martina and the sister tearing up people or tearing up other animals. So he suddenly realizes that he's in that part where this lioness is. Just imagine, after getting down, you realizing that you are in between some lions which are very, very fierce. And then what happens? He just looks, and little further as he goes, he sees small footprints of lions. And then he tells the people there are lion cubs. Now, there are lion cubs means these lionesses have given birth to baby lions. Now, when an animal gives birth to its babies, they are very protective, and they will go to any extent to protect their babies. Now, here, if you found out, Peter Allison is standing on the muddy road. On one side, he found out that the cubs have gone into the bushes, and on the other side, the big lions have gone towards an ant hill. As he's pointing out and showing the people and explaining to them that the cubs have gone on one direction and the lionesses are gone on another direction, as he's pointing out, he realizes that these 2 lions or these 2 lionesses are looking at him. Now he is in a very, very difficult position. A position very dangerous. Why? Because he is in between the mother and the child. the mother and the cubs. Now these mother have to go to their children to protect them. And who is in between? Peter Allison, the safari guide, is in between. Now, he, Peter Allison has actually moved away from the vehicle. The vehicle is far away. He has come away from the vehicle. If he was close to the vehicle, he could just climb onto the vehicle and sit down into the vehicle. But now he is in between, very far away from the vehicle, and in between the mother and the babies. Now he is trying to save himself. How he is trying to save himself? He is trying to show that he is bigger than them, he is stronger than them. He makes a huge noise. He puts his hand out, and slowly he is roaring and trying to frighten the lions. But then the lions are really hopping and coming closer to him. They are almost jumping towards him, closer and closer they are coming to him. And Peter Allison knows that if they think of killing him, they can go and kill him. And he's scared. You can make out that the lions are angry because he is closer to their cubs. So you can see the lions are angry. How they tell us that the lions were angry? They tell us that the fur of the lion was standing up, that its tail was shaking, and then you could hear them making a growling sound, and then you could find their tail. I told you, their tail was shaking, and they were coming closer to him. Whenever Peter Allison stopped, you would find they also stopped. When Peter Allison found them that they are not moving, he put one leg behind, but as soon as he put one leg behind, these lions came forward to attack him. Slowly what he does, he just tries to go back to the vehicle, and you can find that the lionesses are trying to show their anger by opening out their teeth and frightening Peter Allison. In spite of Peter Allison making a huge noise and trying to frighten them, they just come forward. Peter Allison thinks this is going to be the end. I am finished. I am going to be attacked by the lion. And he just decides to move behind. The lioness both run forward. They run so fast, and then what they do, instead of attacking him, they just cross him and run off. All that Peter Allison remembers is the smell of the lionesses that crossed him. The lionesses wanted to just not attack him, but they just wanted to protect their babies. Thank God, they said, they did not think of attacking Allison, but just trying to protect their babies. They just ran in such a speed that they crossed Peter Allison, and ran towards the other side. As soon as the lionesses ran to save their babies, Peter Allison ran back to the vehicle, jumped and sat down in the vehicle, and he's saying everything. He was so cold. He became so cold. Why became cold? Because he was shivering. He was frightened. And then he said his legs were shaking, and he felt like vomiting. He felt like crying. He doesn't know what. He felt like laughing because he was so scared. He thought he's going to die, but somehow he got himself saved. But here on the other side, you'll find this Spirubagu, who had to take a live photo of a lion or a lioness in the jungle. He completely forgot that he has to take a photo of these lionesses and what is happening. He just kept looking at what was happening, and then when Peter Allison came and sat in the vehicle, then he realized that his camera was hanging down and the cover of the camera was fixed or hanging. And then he says, "Oh, Peter Allison, I forgot to take out photos. Can you go and do this act again?" So it is really so funny of Spirabagu to say that, can you do this act again? Only Peter Allison knows what was his condition when he was facing the lion. That's all they have in Peter Allison and his adventure. Thank you.